Part 143. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 1421. Chapter 1421 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 32. Little Cherry nodded, because I'm different from others. I was born without parents, so I matured earlier than the average person. I started working to make money when I was 9 years old. At that time, I worked for a breakfast vendor on the street. Later, I tried not to ask Uncle Wang for my future tuition and living expenses. Although they have always been very kind to me, they are not my biological children, so I can't always rely on them like a parasite. Uncle Wang is not in good health now, and the whole family has no source of income, so now it's time for me to repay them. If it weren't for the uncles, aunts, grandparents in our yard, taking turns giving her food, I would have starved to death on the streets. When little Cherry talked about these things, there was a slight smile on her face. It seemed that she was telling someone else's story, and it seemed that it had nothing to do with her. However, it was clear that the protagonist in the story was herself, but she did not look sad at all. Maybe it's because I've been growing up hard and I'm used to all this. Little Cherry was still talking. At this time, she suddenly felt a warmth coming from the back of her head. When she realized what happened, she was stunned. Jun Chennai suddenly stretched out his hand, touched the back of her head, and said warmly, "Everything will be fine." Little Cherry looked up at Jun Chennai, who was more than half a head taller than her, nodded and smiled, "Yes, everything will be fine. Now that I have made my debut, I have the ability to repay those who helped me in the past." Jun Chennai nodded, stared at her delicate face for a while, and then smiled, "Actually, God is very fair. Although you were born in a poor family, at least it gave you a better looking person than many people face. With this face, your life won't be any worse. This is the case in today's society, appearance is justice. As long as you are good looking, a group of netizens will call you a goddess. If you have a little bit of personality, you can easily become an internet celebrity. Little Cherry's good looks are not uniformly good looking. Therefore, in the era of internet celebrity explosion, she can also become popular with her face." Little Cherry nodded, then shook her head, "Actually, this face brings me more disasters." Jun Chennai looked at her with interest. "How do you say that?" "I've known that I'm good looking since I can remember." Xiao Ying's expression changed when she talked about these past events. Although she was just talking about her own sufferings, she was still optimistic at that time. At this time, Jun Chennai only then could I see her sadness and helplessness on Xiao Tao's face. What do you think will happen to a very good-looking girl who is helpless and lives alone? When little Cherry talked about this, tears flashed in her eyes. Jun Chennai only glanced at her for a moment, and little Cherry turned her head away, avoiding Jun Chennai's gaze. "It's all over, and you will have the life you want." Jun Chennai didn't know what to say, so he only said some feeble words of comfort. Little Cherry buried her head and nodded. Xiao Yang was walking behind the two of them. He didn't think anything was wrong at first, but when he walked behind, he saw that the two of them were chatting so enthusiastically. Jun Chennai even took the initiative to touch the back of Xiao Ying's head, which looked very intimate. Xiao Yang, as if he had been struck by a ghost, silently picked up his cell phone, took a photo, and then sent it to the person with the note "Mrs. Jun" on the cell phone. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 1422. Chapter 1422 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 33. In addition to being Jun Chennai's secretary, Xia Liang's other secret identity is Mrs. Jun's surveillance. Jun Chennai is very busy now and rarely goes home to be with Jun's father and his mother. Jun's father is full of confidence in Jun Chennai, but Jun's mother is a little worried. Especially now that Jun Chennai is talking about whether it is big or small, and he has never seriously talked about having a girlfriend. When Jun Chennai has time, Junmu will arrange blind dates for him intentionally or unintentionally. The blind dates are all the ladies carefully selected by Jun Chennai. However, Jun Chennai either shied away every time, or just kept a straight face like a piece of wood. He didn't say a word from beginning to end, and the atmosphere was very awkward. Even if the girl had some feelings for Jun Chennai, no matter how passionate her heart was, it would be chilled by Jun Chennai's cold face. Jun's mother always said that Jun Chennai was the legendary single man based on his strength. Jun Chennai delivered little Cherry to the door of his house, which was designed like a courtyard house. Several old-fashioned houses were built together. There was a large cement field in front, and several families shared a large yard. Little Cherry tiptoed home and waved to Jun Chennai to say goodbye. Jun Chennai nodded and said goodbye lightly, then turned around and faced Xiao Yang, who was burying his head in playing with his mobile phone, and then suddenly raised his head with a guilty look on his face. "What are you doing?" Jun Chennai raised his eyebrows and had no intention of pursuing the matter. He just asked casually and then walked towards him. Xiao Yang quickly put away his cell phone and answered hesitantly, "No, it's just that CEO, you suddenly turned around and scared me." Jun Chennai gave a disdainful look, then stretched and yawned. He looked really tired. "Let's go, Xiao Yang." Xiao Yang kept up with Jun Chennai. On the road, Xiao Yang and Jun Chennai walked quietly. Xiao Yang thought that he was always a little uneasy no matter what he was asking. Moreover, Mrs. Jun also sent him a message back, meaning to find out what Jun Chennai meant for this little Cherry. When Mrs. Jun saw the photo, she was so frightened that she jumped up from the bed. Her own son knew that if the relationship between an ordinary employee and his boss was like that, how could Jun Chennai send him home in person? Moreover, in the photos taken by Xiao Yang, the two of them seemed quite close. Mrs. Jun was happy at first. After all, she finally saw some signs of love in Jun Chennai. Instead of focusing on work and completely ignoring the quality of your life. How can I bear it physically and mentally if this continues? However, when she asked Xiao Yang who this girl was, Mrs. Jun searched online and found that she was an internet celebrity and she used to be an anchor. The expression on Mrs. Jun's face calmed down and turned into a serious one. Mrs. Jun is still familiar with the new terms internet celebrity and anchor, but these two words, or the superposition of these two words, give Mrs. Jun a very cheap feeling. It's not that she is prejudiced or that she looks down on others. It's just that there are too many bad girls in this industry, and how many internet celebrities and anchors are kept and played by the rich second generation. Most of them basically do everything for money and fame, and they have no principles. Mrs. Jun thought that even if Jun Chennai likes a slum girl, it doesn't matter to her. As long as the other person has a clean background and is innocent, the important thing is that Jun Chennai likes her. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 1423. Chapter 1423 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 34. But Mrs. Jun is not very able to accept internet celebrities and other anchors. The water in these two circles is too deep, not to mention someone who has been involved in both circles. Because she was worried that Jun Chennai would really like that internet celebrity, Mrs. Jun asked Xiao Yang to test Jun Chennai's tone. Xiao Yang followed suit, keeping a certain distance from Jun Chennai, but not too far away. "President, why are you so nice today and even send your employees home in person?" Xiao Yang seems to have deliberately emphasized the word employees. Jun Chennai felt weird hearing this and glanced sideways at Xiao Yang. Xiao Liang was stunned for a moment by Jun Chennai. What do you mean today is so good? Do I usually treat you badly? When did you not be sent home by my driver? Xiao Liang dared to answer Jun Chennai's death sentence. He could only nod his head and apologize, saying that Jun Chennai had always been a good person. Well, he is indeed stupid and not suitable for being a spy at all. It is enough to just follow Jun Chennai and help him deal with some things and arrange plans. Who knew that being Jun Chennai's secretary would mean playing infernal affairs? Besides, Cherry, it's not just employees. When Jun Chennai said this, the expression on his face became much gentler. Xiao Liang thought he had seen it wrong. In fact, he had indeed seen it, but he kept convincing himself that he had seen it wrong. Then, what is she? Xiao Liang asked cautiously. Jun Chennai rolled his eyes at Xiao Liang at first. Don't think blindly, I mean, she has a bright future, she is not just an ordinary person who works for me. She may become the emperor's cash cow in the future. Trabecular's mouth opened into an O shape. Jun Chennai rarely praises a person. Naturally, he rarely praises a person so highly. For a company as big as Emperor, it has become its cash cow. It seems that Jun Chennai is really optimistic about little Cherry. Her appearance is more popular, beautiful but not aggressive. Her rap is top-notch in the current Chinese rapper industry. With time and training, it is not impossible to become one of the best female rappers. By the way, her creative talent is also pretty good. Although dancing is a weakness, she works hard enough. More importantly, she has a higher emotional intelligence and knows how to attract fans to herself. Although her fans are not many, they are very strong and die-hard. The ratio is huge. When she debuts, her influence will expand, and she will be able to attract more true fans based on her personality and charm. Xiao Liang couldn't help but give a thumbs up when he heard Jun Chennai's lucid analysis. President, you are really amazing. Jun Chennai continued, I watched a few of her live broadcasts at first and found them boring. I didn't understand why she didn't show off her flesh, talk about being sexy, and sell her character without being pretentious. Although her words were a bit ugly, she is now popular. There are just these kinds of anchors. But she is different. She is in a good mood, singing, chatting with the audience, and in a bad mood. She does all kinds of things like cooking, eating and putting on makeup, but she has very few words. Look, after watching it a few times, I understood that she has this kind of charm, which is innate, so even if she doesn't say a word for more than 10 minutes, the barrage will be like a goddess, a wife, a wife. Xiao Liang scratched his head and said, President, from what you said, she may be unique, which can be regarded as a kind of personality. Because she is different from other anchors, many people come to see her. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 1424. Chapter 1424, Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 35. Jun Chennai glanced at Xiao Liang with rare admiration. You are not stupid yet. Trabeculae. Being praised strangely by the CEO. Jun Chennai did not answer, but just added, is that why I say she has high emotional intelligence? God has made her lose so much, and she has suffered so much since she was a child. Now, I am afraid it will slowly compensate her. 3 months later, Emperor's first boy band and girl group debuted one after another. The boy group Zero and the girl group Smile. Emperor's boy band Zero debuted first. As soon as they debuted, their first single hit the #1 spot on the new song chart. One of the reasons is because the song was written by Jun Chennai. After Jun Chennai announced his retirement from the entertainment industry, there has been no news about him. Now he has written a song for his boy band. Although he is not the one to sing it, for fans, seeing the three Jun Chennai just one word brings tears and excitement. As soon as the single was released, it ranked first on the Weibo Hot Search list half an hour later, had over 10,000 comments 2 hours later, and ranked first on the new song list 3 hours later. After 12 hours, it ranked first on the playlist, new song list, and sales list. After 24 hours, it broke 3 records in total. It was all set by Jun Chunai, and was broken by Jun Chunai's boy band himself. This achievement can be said to be unprecedented. Zero is a group that consists of 4 teenagers with an average age of 20 and an average height of 182 centimeters. When they stand on the stage, they are all beautiful young people with radiant bodies. Jun Chunai fans even began to lament that although Jun Chunai is no longer in the entertainment industry, Zero has begun to inherit Jun Chunai's legacy of fans. Because Jun Chunai composed the music himself, it shows that he attaches great importance to this group. Since Jun Chunai attaches great importance to it, his fans will not let Jun Chunai down even if they work hard. Therefore, half of the credit for Zero's achievements comes from Jun Chunai, this godlike man. The men's group achieved incredible results, and a week later, the girl group Smile also released a single to announce their debut. Unlike boy bands, the members of girl bands write their own lyrics and music. The lyrics were written by Little Cherry, and the music was composed by several girls working together. Cherry, as a C position, also has her own traffic. This time she debuted as a member of a girl group, and all her fans from when she was a host appeared. Oh my god, is that my little Cherry? Why are you so thin? How cute my chubby face used to be. Little Cherry has made her debut. Little Cherry actually made her debut. Oh my god, I said before that something big was going to happen if Little Cherry hasn't been active for so long, but she unexpectedly debuted in the C position. Support my Cherry. Little Cherry, 21 years old, 167, fair skin, beautiful and long legs, rap expert and first-class freestyler. He can sing and dance beautifully, he can work in the hall and in the kitchen, he is proficient in everything, and his outlook on life is so upright that he can be used as a ruler to measure. She used to be a breath of fresh air among internet celebrities, and now she is the leader of Emperor's new girl group Smile. With such an outstanding girl, it's not a loss to invest in it. Although the women's team has not achieved as great results as the men's team, it cannot be underestimated. The single also ranks second on the new song chart, second only to the boy band's songs, and its playback volume is also second. It has been rising steadily and is on the verge of surpassing it. Sales volume currently ranks second. This result of the men's and women's teams is both expected and unexpected. However, no matter what, the Emperor won a big victory this time. The official Weibo of the men's and women's groups now has hundreds of thousands of followers, and it is still rising steadily. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuen Suya. Chapter 1425. Chapter 1425 Jun Chunai's Extra Chapter, 36. Everyone in the Emperor was celebrating this good result. Jun Chunai invited the men's and women's teams, as well as the instructors, to have a good meal. The whole scene was lively and everyone was happy. Jun Chunai looked at the smiling faces with a faint smile. At this time, Jun Chunai's cell phone rang. It was Jun's mother calling. Jun Chunai walked aside to answer the phone. Jun's mother first congratulated Jun Chunai, and then turned the topic around to arranging a blind date for Jun Chunai on the weekend. Jun Chunai has long been accustomed to his mother's behavior, so he replied smoothly, "Mom, I'm very busy." "No matter how busy you are, you still need to find a girlfriend. I have just taken over the Jun family now, and many things are not on the right track yet. Besides, there is no rush for things like a girlfriend, and I am still young. But Mom is afraid that you only know how to work and there is no caring person around you to take care of you." Induln Hunji. Jun Chennai said this, although Jun's mother felt happy, but she still felt that Jun Chennai needed a girlfriend. And she is a well-educated, gentle girl as her girlfriend. In this way, Jun Chennai can be taken care of in life without making unreasonable troubles and affecting Jun Chennai's work. It's just that, from Jun's mother's point of view, Jun Chennai has never had a girlfriend since he was a child. No one would believe it when I told him that he had been single for more than 20 years because of his hormones. And the only time love blossomed, it ended without any problem. No matter, anyway, the girl's mother has already agreed. If you say that again, you must take the time to take a look. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the girl's mother to explain. Jun Chennai sighed, Mom, why bother? Even though she knew there would be no results, she still continued to arrange blind dates for him. She didn't mind being tired, even Jun Chennai was tired. What do you know? That's the deal anyway. Mom is dead, so you should drink less. Before Jun Chennai could respond, Jun's mother immediately hung up the phone as if she was afraid that Jun Chennai would regret it. After hanging up the phone with Jun's mother, Jun Chennai returned to his address book and saw the name of the person he hadn't contacted for a long time. It's Xia Ying. I don't know how she and Yu Lingfeng are doing during their trip. Some time ago, Liang Ye and Qianyins complained to Jun Chennai, saying that their former boss sold them without a word, left them alone, and even didn't answer any of their phone calls. Really? Marrying someone is like becoming a different person. Jun Chennai thought they were joking at first, but then gradually realized that Xia Ying seemed to be really out of touch. Perhaps she and Yu Lingfeng like to be quiet and don't want to be disturbed. Jun Chennai was in a daze for a moment, his fingers trembled accidentally, he pressed the number and actually dialed it. Jun Chennai was just about to hang up, but who knew that Xia Ying actually answered the call? Jun Chennai was a little disbelieving. He took several deep breaths but said nothing. Until Xia Ying spoke. What's the matter, is something wrong? That voice has not been heard for a long time. Nothing happened. Where were you some time ago? Qianyins and Liang Ye are thinking about you every day. They called you many times but you didn't answer. Before Jun Chennai could say anything, suddenly a baby's cry came from the other end of the phone. Jun Chennai froze, and then he heard Xia Ying put down her mobile phone, walked towards the baby, comforted her softly, then came over with the baby in her arms, and continued talking to Jun Chennai on the phone. Xia Ying and Yu Lingfeng's extra chapter is after Jun Chennai's extra chapter. Jun Chennai's extra chapter won't be very long. Once it's finished, it will be the hero and heroine's extra chapter. It will be a little longer because Yu Lingfeng won't be back so soon. So there is no way to write their side story as soon as the main text is finished. By the time Yu Lingfeng comes back, little Baizai will be 4 or 5 years old. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 1426. Chapter 1426 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 37. You, that child. Jun Chennai was so surprised that he spoke with vibrato, and his words could not be organized for a while. It has been almost a year since Xia Ying and Yu Lingfeng went on a trip. If Xia Ying was pregnant by that time, the child would indeed have been born. Listening to the cry, although it is a young baby, it is very strong. Xia Ying smiled softly and replied to Jun Chennai, yes, we already have a baby. He is a cute boy. I haven't given him a name yet, so let's call him Xiaoduzi for the time being. Jun Chennai smiled and said, why is it called Xiaoduzi? There's no particular reason, I just think it's cute. Xia Ying thought of something and then said, by the way, I will send you a photo of Xiaoduza later. Good. Jun Chennai agreed. After hanging up the phone, Xia Ying sent a photo of the baby not long after. The baby in the photo has a head of soft lanugo hair. Although it is still very small and its facial features are not very clear, its eyes are particularly charming and beautiful. By the way, those eyes are very similar to Yu Lingfeng, they both have eyes with a story. It's just that the story in Xiaoduza's eyes is obviously much simpler and cuter. Jun Chennai looked at the photo and sighed. When he grows up, he will be a girl killer again. Maybe she will be more handsome than his father. Jun's mother arranged a blind date for Jun Chennai. Although Jun Chennai felt helpless, due to the pressure from his mother, he still prepared to go to the appointment perfunctorily. After coming out of the company, Jun Chennai went straight into the car and told the driver the date place that Jun's mother had sent him. Fortunately, this time, it was just Jun Chennai and the girl, without their parents, so Jun Chennai didn't have so many restrictions. Since we are all of the same age, it is easier to talk about many things without being timid. Xiao Liang was reporting the afternoon schedule to Jun Chennai. Jun Chennai was listening and replying to the inspection text message sent by his mother. Jun's mother had to make sure that Jun Chennai was already on the way and not let go of other girls. "President, I will get off at the front," Xiao Liang said honestly. Jun Chennai went on a blind date, so he couldn't go with him. He was embarrassed by such a big light bulb. No. Who knows? Jun Chennai raised his eyes, glanced at Xiao Liang, and said with determination, "You and the driver are waiting for me outside, I will be there in 5 minutes. Ah! Xiao Liang's ah was a surprise from the bottom of his heart. Just 5 minutes? Is Jun Chennai going on a blind date or going to the bathroom? Besides, after all, she is a young lady, is it really okay for Jun Chennai to do this? For what? Jun Chennai showed displeasure. Xiao Liang immediately observed his words and shut his mouth. After arriving at the destination, Jun Chennai quickly got out of the car and walked towards the number table. Xiao Liang and the driver were waiting in the car for Jun Chennai to come out. Xiao Liang even started to pinch his watch out of boredom, counting the time until Jun Chennai went in. He just wanted to see how Jun Chennai used 5 minutes. Time to resolve a blind date. The girl's eyes never moved away from the moment Jun Chennai stepped into the door. The whole Chinese people are very familiar with that face, and Jun Chennai has not appeared in the public eye for so long. When he appears, he still carries the dazzling light of the past. Wherever he goes, the focus of the crowd's attention is there. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuan Suya. Chapter 1427. Chapter 1427 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 38. When Jun Chennai walked up to the girl bit her lower lip. After living for 22 years, this was the first time she experienced what it felt like for a deer to bump into each other. With a man like Jun Chennai, no woman can resist his charm. With the girl thinking this, Jun Chennai sat down in front of her. The girl was so excited that her heart almost jumped out of her chest. "It must be Miss Mo." The girl nodded sweetly and lowered her head slightly. She was too shy to look at Jun Chennai, but at the same time she secretly bit her lip and looked at Jun Chennai. The girl's emotions of embracing spring are revealed to the extreme. Compared to the excitement of the girl, Jun Chennai seemed much calmer. In fact, Jun Chennai looked at the girl as if he were looking at a piece of wood, with no emotion on his face and no waves in his heart. "Do you have any plans later?" The girl was so excited that she didn't realize the coldness of the man in front of her. Maybe she did, but she only regarded it as a manifestation of his personality charm, and then she became more and more unable to extricate herself. "I can do anything, it's up to you." The girl's voice was charming, but Jun Chennai still had a cold face, then coughed twice, and continued, "Miss Mo, I think you and I both sneered at this ridiculous blind date arranged by our parents. Miss Mo, you are young and beautiful, you are not at all. There is no need to follow the path arranged by the parents. We are all thoughtful reeds, not their puppets, so I think we should have reached a consensus. The girl was so confused by Jun Chaniai's words that she didn't even know, or was unwilling to admit, what Jun Chaniai's words meant. Miss Mo, that's it for today. I think there is no need for us to meet in the future. I'll take you back. Jun Chaniai stood up after finishing speaking. The girl was dumbfounded and stood up numbly, feeling confused. She never thought that the blind date she had been looking forward to for so long would end in such a ridiculous way. The girl followed Jun Chaniai with mixed feelings in her heart. She didn't have time to say anything, and it was over. Sure enough, everything was just her fantasy. Being on a blind date with Jun Chaniai did not mean that she would be liked by Jun Chaniai. Xiao Liang watched helplessly. In less than 5 minutes, Jun Chaniai had already led the girl out. Jun Chaniai still tried his best to maintain his gentlemanly demeanor and opened the door for the girl, then opened the car door for her and let her in. Jun Chaniai told the girl's home address, and the driver started driving in that direction. Xiao Liang felt that the atmosphere in the car was strange, then he glanced sideways and secretly glanced at the girl. Sure enough, his face was as dark as coal, and he was probably furious inside. But you still have to pretend to smile and be strong. Xiao Liang curled his lips. His CEO was really a ruthless person. After sending the girl home, the girl watched Jun Chaniai's car drive away, then she returned home angrily, locked herself in the room, and started to lose her temper. What is her bad thing? Even if Jun Chaniai doesn't like her at first, there is no need to deny her a chance to get to know each other, right? After all, she is still recognized as a beauty. No matter how outstanding and perfect Jun Chaniai is, he is still a man. A man should be more tolerant, or in other words, tempted by a beauty like her. But the way Jun Chaniai looked at her was no different from the way he looked at cats and dogs on the road. When they were in the car, she was almost fuming with embarrassment. This was definitely the shortest blind date in history. It didn't last more than 5 minutes and it was over. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuen Suya. Chapter 1428. Chapter 1428 Jun Chaniai's Extra Chapter, 39. President, you sent Miss Mo home so quickly. If my wife knew about it, she would tell you, right? Xiao Liang said to Jun Chaniai cautiously. Jun Chaniai looked calm and composed. She only stipulated that I should go to the appointment, and she didn't say how long I would stay. Besides, 5 minutes is enough for me to get to know a person. If I don't like it, I just don't like it. Miss Mo is a well-known and talented woman, gentle and virtuous. Many high-ranking people are pursuing her. CEO, don't you have any feeling? Xiao Liang asked again. Isn't that just right? There is no need for her to hang herself on a tree with a crooked neck like mine. Xiao Liang was startled and thought to himself, CEO, you are not a tree with a crooked neck. It is obviously a towering tree that is unattainable. People only dare to look up, but they don't dare and have no way to climb. Besides, love has nothing to do with family background, family status, or appearance. It is a very subtle feeling. When the feeling comes, love will come. If there is no feeling, she will be regarded as Chang'e descending to earth. I don't like it either, so what can I do? Jun Chaniai shrugged his shoulders and spoke confidently. Xiao Liang actually couldn't refute him for a moment, so he could only keep saying yes. President, where are we going now? Go home and take a nap, I'm tired. Jun Chaniai answered simply, and the driver drove towards Jun Chaniai's home. Not long after, Jun's mother called. Jun Chaniai had already guessed it, so when he answered the phone, he had a calm look on his face, saying, what's supposed to come is finally here. Chen Yi, What's the matter with you? MRSMO called to say that you made MSMO angry, and now you are shutting yourself in the room and refusing to come out. Jun Chennai first explained that he had not bullied her, and then told Jun's mother the ins and outs of the whole incident. Your mother was so angry that she raised her head and said, "How could you do this to a girl? How many minutes did you spend on a blind date?" Miss Mo is a high-ranking rich lady who has been pampered since she was a child. How can she bear Jun Chennai's anger? Jun's mother gave Jun Chennai a harsh lesson. Jun Chennai was still in the state of "I am right, Mom, I didn't bully her, I made an agreement with her, and she agreed. She is such an outstanding girl, she has no worries about getting married, and there is no need to go on a blind date. Also, as I told you, I originally didn't approve of your approach. I'm still young, so there's no need for you to go on a blind date with me. Okay, Mom, I still have something to do and I'll hang up." Jun Chennai hung up the phone first without waiting for a reply from the other end. Because he knew that he couldn't continue talking to Jun's mother like this. She would definitely find another set of theories to refute Jun Chennai. Jun Chennai was really tired and had no energy to deal with Jun's mother. Jun Chennai had just returned home and was about to take a comfortable nap when he was suddenly interrupted by a phone call. Jun Chennai took a closer look and saw that it was Xiaoying's phone number. Oh, by the way, he called Xiaoying about the last incident, and she probably saved her phone number. Is there a problem? Jun Chennai asked in a gentle tone. At this time, Xiaoying Cherry should still be filming a promotional video for a new song in Country S with the Smile Group. It just so happened that Chu Shenxia was in Country S, so Jun Chennai asked him to write a song for the Smile Girl group. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yun Suya. Chapter 1429. Chapter 1429 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 40. Chu Shenxiu hasn't written a song for many years. He was originally unwilling to do it, saying that he was busy. The little princess's birthday was coming soon, and the royal family has been preparing for this recently. Because at the little princess's birthday party this year, the king of Country S is preparing to announce the engagement between the little princess and Chu Shenxiu. In a while, we will start working on the wedding of the little princess and Chu Shenxiu. So in the following days, Chu Shenxiu was extremely busy and had no extra time to write songs for Jun Chennai and his girl group. Later, Xiaoying Tao somehow found out about this matter and went to find Chu Shenxiu in person. Jun Chennai didn't know what she had said to Chu Shenxiu. Anyway, the final result was that Chu Shenxiu was Xiaoying agreed to help Smile write songs. While Jun Chennai was talking about Chu Shenxiu's emphasis on over friends, he began to wonder how Little Cherry could do it, but he never asked. Little Cherry's breathing was a little rapid on the other end of the phone. Before she could speak, Jun Chennai had already expected that something bad must have happened. I heard Uncle Wang and others calling me and saying that the Han group was going to demolish the old residence on Shitten Road. Is it true? Jun Chennai frowned. He seemed to have heard that the Han family had made such a move recently. Longwan district had been demolished since last year. The Han family bought that area and seemed to be building a business center. Specifically, that's all Jun Chennai knew. But they had promised at the beginning that the old residence would not be demolished, so why did they go back on their word now? Little Cherry became anxious as she spoke, and Jun Chennai could clearly feel that her emotions were getting more and more agitated. Have they signed the contract? I don't know either, it must have been signed. Little Cherry then said, Boss, can you please stop them from demolishing the old residence? No one can move in that area, and none of the people there are willing to move. Jun Chennai looked a little embarrassed and held his forehead, but since they have already bought that area, demolition and other things have been approved by the government, so you can't keep it. Moreover, this kind of demolition and reconstruction is very common now. They will compensate you generously and arrange new residences. Then you can still go back and forth frequently. No, you don't understand. Little Cherry tried her best to calm down her tone, so as not to be too excited and make her words confusing and unclear, making Jun Chennai unable to understand. There are mostly elderly people in that area, and many of their children work outside. They also have to take care of their grandchildren. Some of the elderly people's children are not filial. They are lonely and helpless and struggling to survive. In short, the elderly support each other and take care of each other, just like a family. But if it is demolished and assigned to different places, they will never be able to reunite. Jun Chennai thought for a while. In this case, I will go and tell the Han group to try to let the residents of the old residence on Shitten Road in Longwan district live together, so that they can still live together, and it is convenient for you to visit them. Moreover, the demolition is actually a good thing for them, even though they have to leave their old home where they have lived for a long time. However, most of the houses in that area are dilapidated buildings, which have been in disrepair for a long time and inevitably have hidden dangers. They will live in a new house, their living conditions will be better, and they will receive generous compensation, so their life will become easier. The original people are still there, so are you satisfied? Little Cherry was delighted when she heard this and thanked her profusely. End of this chapter. The Return of the National Goddess. Author, Yuen Suya. Chapter 1430. Chapter 1430 Jun Chennai Extra Chapter, 41. Jun Chennai pursed his lips, then relaxed them, and replied lightly, "Nothing, it's just a matter of lip service. How's the progress on your end?" "It's very good. The finished product is almost out. I'll be back in about 10 days. Little Cherry thought for a while and then said, "I think Chu Sensio is a very good person and he doesn't have any airs. If you ask him any questions, he will answer them patiently. He is really easy to get along with." Jun Chennai frowned, thinking that this guy is just a joke. Where does he have the airs from? "Well, keep up your efforts, I'll die first. Goodbye, boss." After Xiaoying said this sweetly, Jun Chennai hung up the phone. Little Cherry breathed a sigh of relief. She put down her phone, and suddenly a piece of news popped up. GNE, the latest girl group of Shengding Entertainment Company, had made their debut. Shengding has always been the emperor's mortal enemy, and these two are currently the most famous entertainment companies in China. Shengding has been in the entertainment industry for many years and is considered the ancestor company in China's entertainment industry. It's just that the emperor and empress came to dominate, and slowly began to be on par with Shengding. In short, Shengding and emperor supported half of the Chinese entertainment industry. Emperor debuted the first girl group, and Shengding started to follow suit. And what is very ironic is that the captain of GNE is none other than Kim Hai-soo, who was fired by the emperor. Jin Huixio's strength has always been higher than that of Xiaoying. She is indeed a rare and powerful person. However, she was too thoughtful and competitive. The emperor fired her at that time because he was afraid that her personality would cause trouble in the future and tarnish the emperor's reputation. After all, the emperor's entertainers are recognized as good characters in China, and their conduct are impeccable. Jun Chennai couldn't let such a piece of mouse ruin the good porridge he had been cooking for so long. Little Cherry flipped through the promotional photos at random. The appearance of this girl group is impeccable. After all, they are artists from Shengding, and Shengding attaches great importance to the appearance of artists. Unless you are super powerful enough to make people ignore your appearance, Shengding will never sign an artist with bad looks. So far, even in a company as big as Shengding, with hundreds of artists, there are not many such people. GNE haven't even released a new song yet. They have started to release promotional photos and press releases to warm up the album. This is also their usual method. First attract a wave of popularity and fans, and finally use your strength to secure it. The press release also exudes a strong Shengding style. It's nothing more than comparing it with various famous artists. Why does Kim Hye-soo crush Triple X, and Triple X's beauty crushes Triple X? In the photo, Jin Hwixeo has exquisite makeup and regular facial features. She is very good looking and her good figure is clearly visible. They look extremely beautiful. Such refined pictures are indeed very beautiful. The comments below have been praising the GNE girl group for their invincible looks. Some media, whether spontaneously or bribed by Shengding, began to compare GNE with Emperor's already debuted Smile Girl group. They say that Kim Hye-soo is prettier than Cherry, Triple X is prettier than Triple X, and so on. Little Cherry admitted that Jin Hwixeo in the refined picture is indeed bright and beautiful, and indeed better looking than her. But in real life, this is not the case. After all, human eyes do not have filters and beauty functions. Besides, Little Cherry has an invincible trump card. She is very good at taking pictures and looks very good without makeup, so who is more beautiful than whom will be revealed later. End of this chapter.